I just want to congratulate TJ and Iowa State on a tough conference game win. Obviously, tried to explain to the guys this week, in our perspective, that you're going to get their best shot. Where they're 1-3 in the league, they got a road game next. They can't start 1-5, so they weren't going to lose today. Only from our perspective, we had to come in here and win the game, and we didn't do that. And so, give Iowa State a lot of credit. Obviously, turnovers was a big problem for us in both halves. And so we spent halftime trying to make that adjustment, just didn't get it done. Basically had 10 turnovers in both 20-minute games. To me, that was kind of the game, the story of the game from our perspective. Recognizing them though, obviously had a couple special games. Freshman point guard, 6, 7, 8 assists from where I was sitting, and controlled the game in a lot of ways. And then obviously had a great shooting night by 22, 6-3. So it's a players game in the Big 12, and they had a couple guys really step up today. And we always recognize the crowd here, one of the great college basketball venues. We've enjoyed competing here over the years, and I wish we would have played better, but give Iowa State a lot of credit. They won the game today. Congratulations to TJ and their players.
Questions for Marcus Carr, please. Brian, go ahead.
Yeah, Marcus, what about the turnovers, especially in the first half? A lot of uncharacteristic mistakes by y'all, it seems like.
Yeah, kind of like Coach said, it's always a part of our game plan to not turn the ball over, and me being the point guard, it definitely falls a lot on my shoulders. I have to be the one to calm us down and make sure that we're playing poised, and I didn't do a good job of that tonight.
Marcus, obviously, Gabe is a guy you're familiar with. When he's playing well like that, I mean, what's the key for him when he gets hot like that?
To just keep shooting his shots. He's obviously a senior. He's been playing this game for quite some time now, and he knows where his spots are and everything like that. So he's put the time in his life. I've seen him work for 3 years, so I know what kind of guy he is. He just has to trust himself.
About 10 minutes left, you were making a really noticeable effort to attack the rim, try to attack things, and for a while there, it was working. What was there any moment, I don't know, where you thought the door was open, or maybe the door was closed? I don't know.
I know that was supposed to be, our game plan that we talked about coming in was, being aggressive. They have an aggressive defense, so you can't be tentative on the offensive end. You have to, kind of attack aggressiveness with aggressiveness, and, throughout that stretch, I just wanted to, make another push. I didn't want to lose this game at all, and, I wanted to kind of inspire my team, my teammates, and show them that this is what we needed to do, so just try to get that done.
And Marcus, just how do you feel about the way you played at Oklahoma State, and then back up again, and then kind of off today? I mean, how is this team, where's y'all's consistency right now?
Obviously, throughout the past 3 games, hasn't been, super consistent. That's something that we're trying to do, and we know, at this point what we're doing, and the mistakes that we're making. We just have to go back, hit the drawing board, and get better.
Thank you, sir. Questions for Coach, please.
Yeah, Chris, same thing. I mean, the turnovers, they were very uncharacteristic kind in terms of, bad passes, lazy passes. I don't know what word you want to use, but just things that y'all don't normally do.
I think those are fair questions to all of us. I'm the coach of the team. Our teams have always valued the ball. I think we're one of the best teams in the country with the fewest turnovers per game. The great fans here at Iowa State, they've seen some of our teams come in here and play championship type games with 5, 6 turnovers. That's our objective. Today is just one of those games. I think fair question to the players too. How this college basketball deal works. I really don't like to sit up here and talk about anything other than myself, really. But I think those are fair questions to the players too. But we got to work on it. And a couple things. 9 of them come from our forwards. We can't have that. Dylan, CB, Trey. Their job's not to turn the ball over. Their job's to score the ball or make the play. So those are, every once in a while you're going to get a special guard that has a high turnover game, but you're playing against one of the best defenses in college basketball. But to have 9 on our front line, that's frustrating. It's a story of the game. It wasn't just the 10 turnovers in the first half. It was the 18 points that they scored off of them. Just from a toughness standpoint, we put a couple guys in their second half that played their asses off, Tristan and Avery, and that's Texas basketball. That's who we're supposed to be. So equally disappointed in the turnovers throughout the game was, where's the fight to go back and block a shot? tip the ball from behind. You know, maybe even a hard foul sometimes is the right basketball play after a turnover. But it was frustrating watching our turnovers just basically become their offense. We shoot 50% in the first half, 40 from 3. We don't get enough shots because we're handing the ball to the other team. So that's a problem. You know, I'm the head coach here, so it's on me.
Coach, you're talking about TJ earlier. Excuse me. He's got a team now that's won 13, 14 games, whatever it is, with 6 players who didn't even know each other in June, coming in, taking over a team that won 2 games. What can you just talk about a little bit, you know, go into a little bit more about how the job that he's done and been able to do?
Yeah, I think that's college basketball in 2021-22. We've got a team where 9 guys haven't played together, so I think the two teams are similar in a lot of ways. TJ inherited some guys. 2 guys are playing big roles. We inherited some guys. A couple guys are playing big roles. He got 6 transfers. We got 6 or 7. He's got a special freshman out there, and we've got a freshman. You know, Devin's a really good player. Didn't play his best today, but we think Devin's going to be good. So 2 similar kind of roster builds. You know, a lot of respect for TJ. I've known him for a while. We're not every day, you know, text message and vacation friends. I don't think I got a Christmas card for him, but I do have a lot of respect for him and his journey. I know this job's important to him, and he's pouring his heart and soul into it. It's very obvious. I didn't pick him last in the league. I tell you that. This still's got too much DNA in it here with this home court. This pride and tradition, and you know, recognize Coach Prone what he did before. It's not just that there's 2 of Steve's players left. I mean, there's some Steve culture here too. Coach Prone, as you guys know, is one of the best coaches in college basketball. This business, things can get away from you, but I predict he'll be back being a head coach sooner or later and doing what all you guys saw him do for a long time here. So TJ benefited from Steve too, just in my opinion.
2 last ones for Coach.
Chris, what about the consistency issue of, you know, to play at O State and then to play so well, and then the way y'all did today? I mean, how are you feeling about where your team should be playing or where you expect them to be playing?
Again, I think fair questions for our players. I'd like to get the whole roster up here and let you spend some time with them. From my point of view, like, that's what I'm striving for. Consistency is my number 1 thing on my Christmas list. You know, health for my daughters, consistency, and you know, don't tell them sometimes, you know, consistency is up there. That's not true. The health of my daughters is the most important thing. Somebody don't spin that off. But consistency, that's coaching. And you know, with the young guys, you try to kind of teach them. With the older guys, you expect it. You know, like, and it's again 20 turnovers. But give Iowa State credit. You know, I'm not going to sit up here and be one of those guys that you guys recognize the coach that gets up there and talks about the officiating and his team. I mean, look, the other team wants to win too. This was a 1-3 team that backs are against the wall, and they got a road game coming up, and you know, they weren't losing today. So from our point of view, we have to come win the game. Like, we're going to have to play our best 40 minutes of the season to win at Iowa State, and we did not do that. Give them credit too.
One last one.
So is that to say that you're wanting answers out of them?
I think it's no different than any other coach. You know, like you want guys to play the best they can, and you know, you can absorb some off nights, bad possessions, but you know, I mean, who played great for Texas tonight? Yeah, it's a player's game. Who played great for Iowa State? 22, had a great night shooting the ball. Freshman point guard controlled the game. They get some really nice contributions. A kid from Kansas, good player, man. Working that baseline, had a kind of a quiet, sneaky game, right? Hit a 3 tonight. You know, they had some great individual performances. That's what this league's about, you know. Like, and then ultimately, when you get to that tournament and you're gonna start winning games in that deal, you're gonna have to have 4 or 5 guys have great games. And tonight, I didn't see any great individual performances. You know, the defense deal is part of it too. You look at a stat sheet, we had 15 and 8. Well, what about on the other end? You know, like, you know, and you know, some of our players that were filling up the stat sheet offensively tonight, they were just giving it back on the other end. So you got to play on both ends, in my opinion.